Welcome back to the Hockey Show, and today we are, of course, talking about Kyle Dubas and him joining the Pittsburgh Penguins, a man who built a very good team, one of the best teams over his tenure in the NHL, and he's joining a team that is finally coming to the end of its mighty reign in the NHL. But can he give it rejuvenation? We will find out, and I think this is a genius move. I do believe that Kyle Dubas' time in Toronto was great. I do think that what he did there was amazing. I mean, the team in the regular season over, 5 years he's been there, has, I think the second most wins in the NHL over his time with them, which is outstanding. I think the only other team better is the Tampa Bay Lightning, I think, but don't quote me on that. And, that's amazing. That's absolutely fantastic. He did put a great team together. A guy who, one of the first guys, now McDavid's passed him, but scoring the first, 60-goal season in a long time. Mitch Marner finally almost breaking 100 points and just being a really good playmaker. I mean, signing John Tavares as the hometown boy from the New York Islanders, especially at the time, seemed like a really good deal. Nylander's a great player. Morgan Riley is, but I guess he was there before his time. Dubas has put together a good team, right? Jack Campbell last season was incredible. They've gotten to the playoffs, and the joke was always that they couldn't get past the first round, which they finally did. We all know that. I don't got to tell you that. And I do think it was time for Toronto to move on from him. He has created an amazing team there, but it's just not going. The issue is the playoffs, right? The issue in Toronto is that they can't win the playoffs, which isn't really his fault, sort of, because on one, Matthews and Marner, for some reason, and just his top guys who are getting paid $40 million, half the cap, are not producing in the playoffs, and that's the issue, right? Which is sort of his fault, because it's you need to move on from him, but at the same time, what GM's going to see guys like Mitch Marner and Matthews and be I got to move on from them, they won't win me a Stanley Cup, right? So I think it is time to move on from him. He's done his job, he's not going to destroy his creation, right? So I think it is a right move to move him out, and I think the Penguins being a team that currently is in, I don't want to call it disarray, but needs new guidance, new management, kind of like with the Maple Leafs over there. And I think he kind of took on the same mantle with the Maple Leafs when he joined the team as the Penguins in a sort of wonky way. And I think the Penguins need just some new leadership. And Dubas, he has a chip on his shoulder wanting to prove himself to people who say that he's not a good GM or something like that, or throw it back at the Maple Leafs hey, I know what I'm doing. I can do this again. I'm going to recreate an amazing team. I didn't get lucky or something like that, right? So he is going to be but he's going to be really, really prioritizing being successful, which of course he is. That's not what I wanted to say. It's going to be very important to him to prove himself, but he is inheriting a very tough challenge with the Penguins. A very, very tough challenge. 10 out of the currently 15 signed players are 30 or above, and 5 of them are 35 and above, right? So inheriting a very old team. I believe last year they were the on average, the oldest team in the NHL. And things are not getting better for them, right? And they've got some pretty tough contracts on the team. Letang's contract going on till, forever away. And also, not just tough contracts, in money, but length. The worst contracts. I once did, not that anyone watched them, but I did a series of the worst contracts a long time ago for each team. And some teams, it's you go to the Lightning, it's man, I can't find one. The whole team of the Penguins contracts are a just terrible situation. I mean, Letang, Ricard Raquel, and Brian Rust all signed to 2027-28. Do you think that these 30-year-old and Letang being 36-year-old players are going to be good till 2028 at $5 to $6 million? No way. No way in hell are they going to be that good, right? So, what does he do with this team? He's going to rebuild, just completely throw everyone out. Is he going to clean up the team in a way? Obviously, that would be the idea, but clean up the team. What is he going to do in this tough situation? And I personally think that, there's a lot of tough things, because I think most people are going to be thinking just move out everyone. Move out guys like Brush and Granlund and stuff and sign free agents or something like that. Trade them away, bring in new guys. Well, there's a couple really hard flaws with that, okay? One, Now listen to this. Crosby, Malkin, Jake Gensel, Brian Rust, Ricard Raquel, Jeff Carter, Jeff Petrie, Chris Letang, and Marcus Peterson. All 9 of those players have no movement clauses, right? So for one, you already got no movement clauses for there, so it's kind of hard to just trade them away to anyone. And with a no trade clause, right? An issue is that if they sign it away, usually they'd sign it away to go to a good team, like the Patrick Kane situation where it's like, I want to join the Rangers, my home state team, and try to win a Stanley Cup. Try moving them out to a team who's got cap space, like the Coyotes, right? Guys like Jake Gensel, not that they would probably trade him away, are going to sign off saying, Jeff Carter, and say, I'll sign to waive my trade clause to go to this terrible team that's getting disarray right now. That's not going to happen. They've currently got $20.208 million in cap space, and they have 15 out of 23 roster spots currently still open. Now, sure, they can move up guys from the CHL or whatever, like guys like Owen Pickering, who's a young guy that they have that could maybe be decent in the future, but probably not NHL ready by any means right now. So they've currently got 8 spots left open that they need to fill, that with some of the guys still on the team, right? And $20 million, okay? So let's just hypothetically say 8 players, okay? Let's say all of them are somehow low-end players and each of them signed for $2 million, okay? That's $16 million, so that's $4 million left for them to spend on free agents or something like that, right? That's already not a lot of money to really make a difference with the team. So it's like, okay, well, let's say you can move out a guy like Granlund. You can sell a guy like Granlund to a team like, who knows, like the Tampa Bay Lightning. Doesn't matter, right? Whatever. Say you can convince the Tampa Bay, make a trade for that, right? Well, you can move out his cap, but you got to bring in a good player in return, right? So it's just a very bad situation all around. Guys like Granlund, Raquel, Brian Rust, all paid $5 million, right? Letang, Jeff Petrie's contract's the worst one on the team. Good luck moving him out to... Try convincing another team to sign a guy like Jeff Petrie to a contract or trade for him and give away valuable goods to the Penguins. It's a very hard situation. They only have one first-round pick this year, 1 in the 3rd round, none in the 2nd. I believe they had a 6th and a 7th, maybe a 5th. And, which, at that point, not very interesting, right? And in the future, they have their draft picks for, like, next year or whatever. But for this upcoming year, not really that ton of draft capital. And right now, it's just, I love playing, I gotta be honest, I love playing NHL GM mode, right? It's one of the only things that I play on the Xbox, really. And I don't know, in my head, I'm like, if I inherited this team on NHL, what the heck would I do? I have no idea. I have no clue what I would do because of this team. Because you got to keep guys like Crosby. He's not going to go away, especially towards the end of his contract. Malkin's not going anywhere. He re-signed with the team. Like, Letang, I don't see wanting to go anywhere. They're being paid handsomely. And the team right now, the team currently, this season, they were 16th in goals for and 19th in goals against, right? They are just missed the playoffs, right? They are the epitome of what mid is. They are literally the mid of the NHL when it comes to their points, when it comes to wild card, when it comes to goals and goals against. They are in the exact mid of the league right now, and I don't know what they need to do to change that. Obviously, it's like, well, you got to put better players in the lineup. Okay, who do you go for? Sure, you can sign a free agent, but they don't really have a lot of money right now. They cannot sign the players that they currently have contracts ending with, and try like Nick Bonino and like Kulak. But who are you going to re-sign instead? Like, you've only got $20 million. That seems like a lot, but they have no team right now, so they got to replenish the team. So in my eyes, I think you somehow try to move guys like Malkin. Well, I don't think Malkin would waive his thing, so I don't know what they got to do. I have no idea what Kyle Dubas is going to do with this team. It's such a bad situation to be in for them. They need some good young guys in this team. They need some good young guys not being paid a lot of money to really rejuvenate the bottom. And like, they're guys who are being paid money. It's just unfortunate. Guys like Granlund, he's not a bad player, but he's by no means a second-line really good player. He's a Stanley Cup winning team's third-line centerman, right? He is a wild card team's second-line player, right? It's just, it is such a hard situation. They got a team full of guys that are aging, that are getting older, and that any second, like guys like Chris Letang could just absolutely drop off. Evgeny Malkin, as much as he's a superstar, who knows when he will fall apart. It is a very hard situation. I don't know what he can do. I've been trying to brainstorm all morning of what I would do with this team, and I gotta be honest, I have no idea at all. I have no clue, and I know I'm not saying a lot here, but that's just it. I don't know. Usually with every other team, I could be like, yeah, you can move this, and then you can do this or whatever. The Penguins here, like, they have absolutely nothing. They have no cap space. They have no wiggle room. They've got nothing to really trade away in, like, draft picks. They've got nothing to trade away on their team because someone's got to waive their clause to get anything out there. It is just a bad situation. I look at this and I'm like, okay, you can try to get a team like the Red Wings to want a guy on your team, right? But they've got to want a guy because they're starting to be good now. Who do they want? They've got to want maybe a guy like Malkin. Would Malkin waive his clause? Probably not. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with this team. I don't know what Dubas is going to do, but I think it is a good pick for them overall. And that's all I gotta say, which is a whole lot of nothing, really. So I apologize. But that's all I gotta say, so thank you for watching this. And until next time, and if you've made it to this point, please, I'm begging you to pick up your free subscription. And until next time, too sweet, have an amazing day, and ta-ta for now.